They drop their children off at the bus stop before school, of course. In the Verano Creek neighborhood in St. Johns County, the concern has intensified due to the bus stop's location alongside US 1, they say. One of the county's busiest highways, of course. Parents are worried about the dangers posed by the high-speed traffic on the road, which is exacerbated by drivers, they say, who are often distracted by activities like texting, eating, and drinking. Residents like Petkov and Robert Figlia.
Great job.
Figlia. Not a great job.
Fragile.
Not a great job. Yeah. Fragile. Must be Italian. They voiced their concerns about the safety associated with US 1.
Yeah.
Petkov, who drives this road daily, highlights the prevalence of distracted driving, while the other person points out that vehicles often exceed the 60-mile-an-hour speed limit. Some parents have young children who use the bus stop daily, and they're advocating for relocation. The St. Johns County School District Director of Transportation, Al Pantano.
Oh, hey,
Pantano.
how you doing? How you
Get
doing?
over here, Pantano.
Hey, Al.
It's my cousin.
Hey.
He stated that the current bus location adheres to the state guidelines and best practices and is consistent with the district's transportation services, despite the Verano Creek community. Boy, I'm good with words today.
You're doing great. Hooked on
a
phonics.
lot of words to me that I don't usually read.
Words are hard.
Challenging.
Tough.
It's Friday.
Told you, Rick.
Gary Busey.
All right. Despite this, the community remains determined to continue their efforts to have the bus stop moved to a safer location for the kids. Yeah, I mean, this is, we've seen this talked about in the past with other bus locations, and the county has made accommodations for folks. I think parents are probably on high alert now, especially after the 2 incidents we had just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Where young people were hit on their way to, going to the bus stop. So,
especially on days like this when it's super foggy, that's scary, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Today's one of those days where there are cases you can't argue with it.
Yeah.
Because you don't see things as quickly as you do, and this is,
Are you guys fast drivers?
No.
Are you heavy-footed drivers? Just like be honest.
I'm
little.
not.
See, I'm not. I'm just naturally not.
Me either.
I am actually the person that everyone on County Road 208 every day, twice a day, is honking at to please get out of the way and move faster because I drive the speed limit, right? So I kind of feel for those parents. I mean, I'm super vigilant to, I feel like everyone is in such a rush, and I'm not judging. You're late to work. Everyone's got a lot on their plate. Yeah. But everybody's in such, I live on roads that the speed limit's 45 or 55, and people are going 75 miles an hour.
Yeah, right.
And there are, on 208 anyways, there are homes that their driveway is 208. The bus stop, the bus has to stop, on a road that's got a 55 mile an hour speed limit, which 55 miles an hour is what it is. But then somebody's going 75 miles an hour, and there's a kid, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just one small flinch.
I'm just over here y'all slow down. And I'm also just a tiny bit spiteful of a person. So when people do honk at me, I go 1 mile per hour slower.
Right.
Now we know.
Every honk. And then eventually.
Are you just hitting the button on the cruise control?
I'm just let me slow down a little bit more. And then finally I'm going 45 miles an hour in a 55. These poor people.
But does it have to do with your vehicle though too? What if you were driving a Mustang? You would be like,
no,
you would still be.
I
Okay.
don't I'm not a big fast person.
Yeah.
I just.
No Tracy Chapman
I'm just
for
cruising, listening to my songs, doing my thing. Probably trying to remember where I'm supposed to be going, what I'm supposed to be doing. There's a lot of stuff going on inside the vehicle. I'm just not driving fast.
I don't need to drive fast. I just want to make my way to the front of the pack so I don't have to deal with everybody else.
That's smart. Yeah.
I just want to get
I
to
feel
the
that.
front so I don't have to. But there was, I hear you. There was one guy driving when I was coming to work yesterday. And it's 7 o'clock in the morning, so I hope this person wasn't drunk. But boy, they were driving like it. Every few seconds, they would just veer into straddling both lanes.
Oh, texting.
And they were just kind of driving in the middle lane, and then they'd come back, and then, a car would try to pass them, and they'd just veer back to the middle. I almost saw 3 wrecks from this one person.
Yikes.
And had they been on the other side of the road and there were kids waiting for the bus stop, however distracted they were, they could have easily veered into a bus stop area. So I understand the anxiousness from parents, again, especially now after we've heard some really terrible stories recently.
Were you a fast driver when you were younger?
No.
Or I never was.
See, I wasn't. I wasn't. People always called me the old guy. People said I was like an old man to drive with because
too
it was
afraid
like
of the
speed
police.
limit and yeah.
So I got a speeding ticket when I was 16. I'm sure I've had speeding tickets beyond 16, but I haven't had a ton in my lifetime. But anyway, I got the speeding ticket when I was 16, and my dad at the old Beaux-Arts Ford on US 1, he had this like Model A kit car. It wasn't even a real Model A. It was like a Pinto with a Model A body on it. And it had these little windshield wipers that were that long, and they were like, like it was really crazy, right? So my punishment is he took my car away, and all summer, because it happened to be like toward the end of the school year, I had to drive the Model A, and you know how much it rains? You know how much it rains in the summer in St. Augustine? So
yes,
here was me, 16 years old, in this Pinto Model A with these little windshield wipers going, and my dad was like, "How's the car?" I'm like,
"Wow, thanks, Dad."
At least you didn't have to drive it to school.
Listen, I recognize my, I'm very fortunate. I had a car to drive. I'm not complaining about that. I'm just saying my dad was very creative.
That was like a museum relic. That wasn't a car.
It over 45 miles an hour. It did. The car itself did not go over 45 miles an hour. I wasn't allowed to leave St. Johns County. All the things. It was really funny. For 4 months. That was
so many rules.
That was my punishment. Yeah.
I got my first ticket on my first day of driving.
What?
I ran,
of course you.
Yeah,
of course you.
I know. And it was in my neighborhood.
Oh my
God. It was in my neighborhood. I ran a stop sign that I knew was there. I just wasn't paying attention. I was like taking my brother out for a cruise. My little brother, he was like 10 at the time. I was like, come on, buddy, let's go for a ride. I can drive now. And we were just, the first stop sign I get to, I ran, and there was a cop right there. It's crazy.
That is totally your luck. That's terrible.
It's totally my luck.
Here's a question for you guys. Do you remember your first ticket and how much it was?
Yeah, that was my first ticket. It was easy to remember. I think it was like $60.
Yeah.
I think mine was like, I was going 72 and a 55 on US 1, like south of Bayard, because I went to high school up in Jacksonville. And I want to say it was like $95 or $105, which, and it's 1993 or whatever, whenever that was, 92. My dad was like, $100. I mean, I was like, I think that's why I got the Model A, because my dad was like,
that's half a week's
by the way,
paycheck.
I did not have $100, so I had to pay it,
Right.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Davey, you
how much are speeding tickets now?
130-ish.
A lot,
They're
I
a
think.
lot
I think they're
now.
going to be
I
over
haven't gotten-
200.
Well,
Oh, really?
I haven't gotten one in
my
years.
first when I was 16, I was at a stop sign, and my friends were like in the car with me, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna peel rubber, and I went, and I look over, and there's a cop literally pulling up to the stop sign, like right beside me, and it was $25, and he's like,
$25? Could you trade him for milk? Like, what is that?
the milk was a quarter.
You weren't going to get very far.
Milk was a quarter. That was my entire paycheck was $25.
Oh my gosh.
Whole thing, man. That whole thing could have been in the Pappy voice.
Spinning my wheels.
I was, what did you call it? It wasn't burning rubber. I was peeling rubber out there, and the officer came and gave me a ticket, and it was a nickel.
I had a wooden one.
Somebody in the comments just said that currently, when I'm assuming he knows this personally.
Oh, Nick, yes.
There's an LOL at the end. He says that windshield tint tickets are now $116. Just for your window tint.
Just for the tint.
Wow.
To be
God, I know
so
it.
That's crazy.
That is
Crazy.
Yeah,
well,
$25.
Wow, that's nothing.
That's
Give me 2 and then get me out of the next one.
a down payment on a house back then.
What do you mean it was the house?
All right, man. Speaking of vehicles, it's Gas Money Gas Report time. Let us know where you are seeing the best price for gas in the comments. We would appreciate it. I'm going to start at the top of the list today with our friends at A1A Discount Beverage. Looks like they are at $2.89 this morning.
Okay, better than yesterday. Good.
Yeah. Also at $2.89, it's the Sunoco at $21.99 North Ponce. We got the Gate on Mizell Road at $2.90. The Owens at $7.80 South Ponce, $2.97. The Mobile and Circle K at $800 South Ponce, $2.97. Here's Sunoco at $4.50 South Ponce, Leon Boulevard, $3.02.
Rude.